A lot to get to here with the Blazers. I owe you an apology.
Go ahead, fire away.
What do you want first? Do you want Klingon thoughts, or do we want the apology to you?
Well, I think they go hand in hand. That's the ironic part of it, which is why he should be playing, which is why I was right. And go ahead and start with the apology.
Well, okay, I'll start the apology here. We give takes. I'm willing to be the guy that says I'm wrong, take was wrong, and certainly there's a lot of people going to dig the heels in here and say, nope, we're not wrong. I will say, I think I'm wrong. I think I'm supposed to the take. The take was Scoot not playing in Summer League. Kind of controversial to some. Many will still hold the take he shouldn't. However, I gave the take, I see it, I understand it, don't care if he doesn't. And then what I didn't know, because I don't follow every team's off-season doings, I didn't know Brandon Miller was playing.
Yeah, he had a good rookie year, too.
I didn't know Jaime Jaquez was going to play.
Yeah, good rookie year.
Cam Whitmore is playing.
Yeah.
I could keep going on. There's a decent amount of guys from last year's rookie class that are, whether they play the whole time or not, doesn't matter. They're playing.
They're on the team and they're playing.
Scoot's not. And I'm going to give the take. He should be playing. If it's only 2 games, cool. If it's even just 1, cool.
Give me a half. I don't care. I'll settle for a half.
I'm going to reverse and say, think you're right. He should be playing because Donovan Klingon's playing, and they don't have any guards.
No.
You know what I learned from the first Blazers Summer League game? Watching these things is going to be awful because that team sucks. They have no guard play.
No.
That team was horrific. Every other possession was a turnover, somebody that couldn't dribble. Ryan repaired one of the worst first halves I've seen from a player of note in a long time. We'll get to the Klingon stuff, but I owe you an apology publicly. Whether it be for a first half, 1 game, 2 games, Scoot should have played, and I was wrong. Didn't know all these other rookies from last year's class were going to play, even in a small sample size.
Yeah, I didn't even know that either. I still stick by the take, but I had no clue that all these other rookies were going to go out and play in Summer League in year 2, and I think it makes the take even stronger of just like, what are we doing? What's the argument for him not to play? He had a wildly disappointing rookie season. I know the last month was great, and Blazer fans want to cling to that, and that's awesome. Maybe that's who he is in year 2. But his rookie season was wildly disappointing. He missed time early on with an injury. He's clearly young and developing. We need to get him more experience. Why would we not take every opportunity possible to get him on the floor? And the main argument that I was making when talking about this last week was Donovan Klingon is a guy who, through the offense, is not going to be like, hey, let's dump it to Klingon and clear out. Like, that's just not his game right now. And so he's going to get a lot of his looks and a lot of his touches through feeds from a point guard, running the pick and roll or finding him on a lob. Like, that's where a lot of his offense and a lot of his looks are going to come from. And just for Scoot to be able to give those to him, to help him out in Summer League, and for them to build a little bit of chemistry when you're trying to argue this is going to be your long-term point guard and long-term center, just give me a game, give me a couple of quarters. I don't need a big sample size. I'm not asking for Scoot to play every second. But it's one thing if you had a great rookie season, but then you find out all these rookies who had pretty decent rookie years were still playing. I was really disappointed he wasn't playing, and then watching that on Saturday night, I just was screaming in my living room like, yeah, it would be nice for him to be out there just to get a couple of more reps in and see if it helps him out for year 2.
Well, here was the thing, and part of the reason I reversed the take was not just, I mean, a big part was, Jaime Jaquez is playing? Like,
that guy's got nothing to show, nothing to prove.
Nothing. He had a great rookie campaign with Miami, showed a lot of teams a little bit of regret not taking him.
Yeah.
Brandon Miller, remember, he had a shaky first Summer League game, and I jokingly said, we made the right pick.
Yeah.
He ended up having a really good rookie campaign, and people in Charlotte are excited about him. Here was Scoot on CBS Sports. He did an interview, and he was asked about Donovan Klingon.
Just watching him over the past few days, I think we could be really dominant. I think we'd be really dominant. Just watching him run the floor, that's one thing that stuck out to me. He runs the floor. He can shoot the 3-ball, a little bit of everything. Though he guards, he takes pride in his team and team defense and team offense as well. So I think we'll be very compatible. Just with my downhill and versatility and his versatility as well, I think it'd be crazy.
And just watching that game unfold on Saturday, God, I stuck through the whole thing. I shouldn't have. And they almost coincidentally had a comeback and win.
They did.
I don't really have a lot of thoughts outside of Donovan Klingon, and we'll dive into those. But, like, if that's your takeaway, give me a half of that.
Give me
a game of that. I just wanted to see it. And there's many takeaways that people will have on Summer League that we don't really need to have. Klingon, I thought, struggled some. He couldn't hit shots. He did struggle in that department.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought he had opportunities to get the ball, and no one could give him the ball. There were no good lob passes. There were no good, like, hey, coming off a screen. The dude set some monster screens on guys, and I just thought Imagine if he had a point guard who could actually competently pass him the basketball here.
Give him the ball.
Maybe he would have hit a shot or two more than what he shoot? 1 for 8, whatever it ended up being?
I think, yeah.
So, yeah, given who's played, even if it's just a game, I would have liked to have seen him and seen him play in some action, even if it's limited with the Klinger. That was my apology to you. And I changed course. He's not going to play.
No.
So this is going to be a moot point after today because they play today.
Yeah.
But after seeing the weekend of festivities and what's transpired, I would have liked to have seen him for a game just play with Donovan.
Well, and the response would be, I think the other side of the argument is, well, they're going to practice together. Scoot's in Vegas. He's running through team drills. Like, all these guys are working out together. But I'm just a firm believer that there's a massive difference between going through the motions in a practice, and not to say that they don't practice hard, but just of where your heart rate is at for an actual game, whether it's a summer league game or not, whether it's a preseason game, it's different. There's fans in the stands. You're a little amped up. You got to kind of control that. Like, there's just more stuff that goes into it. And I think that's true in every industry. Like, if we're telling people how to get better at radio, you could go sit in a production studio and try and record a show, and you're technically practicing, but it's not the same as being live on the air.
Exactly.
And the adrenaline rush that you feel of, like, all right, here we go. Red light's on. Now you're on the air. You got to go get it done. Like, there's just a difference. And that's where I think it's just frustrating that they had the opportunity to build a little bit of chemistry, whether it's for one game or two, kind of feel each other out a little bit, get a sense of each other's games. It's just a little bit different from the practice floor. You give me one good half or one good game of Scoot throwing a couple of lobs to Klingon, everybody says, hell yeah, brother, and then you pack it in. Yeah. He's done for Summer League, and that would have solved all of the problems.
Well, can I cherry on top, too? The shooting by Scoot Henderson, it's obviously still needing work. The 20-game stretch at the end of the season last year was something workable. We started to see, I think, the talent maybe start to come together, but why not put him on the floor just to allow him to get the shots up? There's not all NBA talent, but there's some level of NBA talent out there. Why not get him out there just to get more threes up?
Just the one game. And look, it's Summer League. I'm not going to pretend this means a whole lot. I think it's just the one game would have been nice, especially given how poor that guard play was for their team, and it's probably going to continue.
This is going to be a rough watch.
They're not winning the championship.
This is not our year this
year. They get a ring if they win the championship, guys. It's a big deal.
Year, man.
I would, we'll get to the over-under. That came out this week, and they're taking in Summer League, too. I think they think this is going to carry over.